On a fine and sunny wintry day, I took the 1 hour 45 minute trip over towards the Thanet area for a couple of reasons. First of all, it was time to get my latest tattoo from Martha Smith, one of the best in the business, and this time I got a raven to honour one of my favourite books of last year, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and I just so happened to pop into a local charity shop and pick up yet another copy. Now, I wasn't just here for the tattoo, I was also here to go to some of my favourite bookshops, but Michael's, unfortunately, found out it was closed on Thursdays. And then I went down the road to Broadstairs Bookshop and I discovered that they had closed for good, which was kind of disappointing. I really like that bookshop. But I knew there would be one bookshop that wouldn't let me down, and that was the Margate Bookshop in Margate. The Margate Bookshop is a small independent bookshop in a beautiful square nestled inside Margate's Old Town and has been in operation since 2019. There are lots of special things about the Margate Bookshop, but let's start with the books it stocks. The owner Francesca and her team have developed relationships with distributors for smaller presses, meaning a lot of the books on the shelves are different and more diverse than those you'd find in the big chains. Well, chain. It's a neatly curated range, and they've managed to pack a lot of books into what is really quite a small space, but without making it feel crowded or overwhelming. They have a really good fiction range, a good classics range, lots of local interest books, and some good social sciences books, just lots of things that might interest you. It being the middle of January and the Turner Museum up the road being closed, it was a little bit quieter than normal for my visit. Still, there was a lovely community camaraderie inside, with various locals popping in. It was a nice reminder of how much spirit and positivity a good small bookshop can bring. So after browsing for a while, it's time to decide which books to take home with me. First of all, I thought about this nice copy of Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. Then there's this book, which I thought was all about Sean Bean. Turns out I'd misread the cover. Hello, what's this? If it isn't Laura's favourite fantasy book from 2023. I've heard a lot about The Dimensions of Cave by Greg Jackson. And then this book, with a massive word God on the side. That certainly piqued my interest. But as much as I wanted to, I couldn't take them all home with me. In the end, it was this book that really caught my eye. A book all about the various different places of folklore in the British Isles, with beautiful photos and drawings. I needed to have it. But just as I was about to check out, I cast my eye over the table one last time and found this book by Amy Jeffs, Wild, Tales from Early Medieval Britain. I really enjoyed the first one, and I knew I had to have this one too. So with my books chosen, it was time to pay, and also time to work out how on earth I was going to film myself paying while using my phone, until the sassy but affable assistant reminded me that these things called cards exist. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about it. Anyway, with my books safely stored inside my brand new tote bag, it was time to set back out into the freezing cold, safe in the knowledge I'll be back here in another 10 months for probably my next tattoo. Make sure to visit themargatebookshop.co.uk where you can buy books from them online or support them on bookshop.org.